Further debate? The member for London West.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I want to start by saying that I will be splitting my time with the member for Nickel Belt and the member for London North Centre. Speaker, it's always an honour to stand in this place to speak on behalf of the people I represent, but it is a special privilege to do so during Remembrance Week. As we participate in a debate that has such strong support on all sides, because all of us in this place recognize how vital it is to honour veterans, and the legislation that is before us will do that. This debate is also a welcome opportunity, a rare opportunity to highlight the contributions of the veterans that we know from our own communities and to show our appreciation for their selflessness, their service, and also at the same time acknowledging the challenges that so many veterans face, from mental health to homelessness. Today's debate allows us to remember and pay tribute to the sacrifices that have been made and continue to be made by those who serve on our behalf to defend our values, safeguard our freedoms, and protect our democracy, both here and abroad. Today I want to honour two veterans in particular from London West. 99-year-old Alan Brunston, who enlisted in the Navy as a teenager during World War II and served on HMCS Uganda, and Officer Cadet Brett Cameron, who died by suicide in 2016 at the age of 20. I first met Alan Brunston at the Byron Legion, one of the biggest legions in Ontario, I'm proud to say, shortly after I was elected. I always look forward to chatting with him at the annual Battle of the Atlantic ceremony that's held every year in May at HMCS Prevost in London. Alan is profiled in a two-part segment that's being shown on CTV London tonight and tomorrow night, so I encourage anyone who is able to tune in. Alan is a kind man with a gentle smile and a friendly twinkle in his eye. He is impossible to miss because of his constant companion, Bo, his service dog, who helps Alan deal with the PTSD he has been living with for 80 years since his return from the war. Alan has told me how difficult it was for his wife and his family to watch him struggle. The night terrors, the screaming that woke up his wife, the anxiety and the panic. And here's some of what Alan told CTV in his interview. He enlisted at age 18. Combat was so intense that he wrote a farewell letter to his mother. He said he told his mother that he loved her and that he was afraid he was not going to return. Shortly before he returned, there was a kamikaze pilot attack on his ship, and he describes with shaking hands nearly 80 years after it happened some of his memories of that attack. He did survive, but he talks about the experience of having to bury people at sea and how upsetting this was for him at the time. But 8 decades later, that upset has never left Alan. He says, "I keep thinking about them, and I think too much about them, and it's upsetting to me, and I try to put it out of my mind, but it is impossible." Alan told me that nothing was helping him until he got his therapy dog, Bo, about 15 years ago, and that has made such an enormous difference in his life. So, Speaker, honouring veterans means making sure that veterans like Alan get the support they need at the time that they need it. The second London West veteran that I want to recognize is Officer Cadet Brett Cameron. From the age of 12, Brett knew that he wanted to join the military. He went to the 614 Air Cadet program at Wolseley Barracks in London and dreamed of becoming a pilot. He got 2 pilot licenses as a cadet and was accepted into the Royal Military College of Canada in 2014. In his second year at RMC, one of his close friends, also an RMC student, died by suicide on a day when Brett was scheduled to write 3 exams. He went on to write those exams but failed all 3 of them, understandably. He worried that he was going to be kicked out, and 10 days after his friend died, Brett also took his own life. A board of inquiry was launched into the deaths of Brett, his friend, and a 3rd officer cadet who also died by suicide at RMC in the very same year, 2016. So last month I was invited by Brett's parents, Angela Cameron Jolly and Bill Jolly, to attend the presentation of a memorial silver cross to Brett's mother, Angela, which is issued as a memento of personal loss and sacrifice by the Government of Canada to loved ones of those who died in service or whose death was attributed to their service. The family was also awarded a sacrifice medal, memorial scroll, and memorial bar in honor of Brett's service. Speaker, it took 10 years for Angela to secure this recognition from the Government of Canada for the service of her son. And who knows, Speaker, what help could have been provided to Brett if community mental health services had been in place, if campus supports had been in place at the time that Brett was struggling. A 3rd London West resident that I want to honour today is Reverend Frank Mance. Frank Mance is the much-loved Padre for the Royal Canadian, all the Legions within the City of London, and he works especially closely with the Byron Legion in my community, playing an important role every year in organizing the Remembrance Day parade and ceremony, which always takes place on the Saturday before November 11th. Since 2007, Frank has been on a campaign. He has been the driving force behind the creation of a monument that will center the Byron Legion Remembrance Day service in a new home. And that monument is going to be located at Springbank Park, also in London West. City Council has approved the construction of this new Veterans Monument in the park, which will be available year-round for Londoners and visitors to the city to reflect on the service and sacrifice of members of the military. There are going to be placards with QR codes, so you can scan the code and learn more about the stories of the wars and the important peacekeeping missions that Canadians were involved in. And it's been designed by South Korean artist Kei Jang, which is there has been a close connection in London, and I'm sure other communities across the province, with the Korean Society of London and the Korean War Vets. So it's very fitting that this monument has been designed by Kei Jang. The monument is to be complete for Remembrance Day services in 2025, and it's being built with fundraising money and money from the community. Now Frank has contacted me to ask, is there any access to Ontario government grants that would help support the installation of this monument? And so I'd like to suggest to the government in the bill that we are debating today, it talks about suggestions for how to honor veterans during Remembrance Day and Veterans Week, and identifies contributing to the upkeep of a memorial or cenotaph as one of the important ways that Ontarians can do that. So resources to enable the support or enable the construction and installation of monuments like the one that Frank is leading in London would be greatly appreciated. I know by Londoners, but I'm sure that there are other communities across the province that would like to do similar things. So thank you very much, Speaker. I have really appreciated this opportunity to participate in the debate and just highlight three residents of London West who are certainly deserving of being honoured as this bill enables us to do. Thank you.